I sensed it instantly, the moment the calendar seemed to turn its back on me. 30 days. A full month without a single visit. My daughter had never stayed away that long. Not unless someone urged her to. So that morning, I stopped waiting around. I grabbed the spare key she'd forgotten I still owned, slipped it into my pocket, and drove to her house with a calmness that felt almost unreal. The sort of calm that settles in only after you've imagined every possible nightmare and come to terms with all of them. The hallway smelled faintly of dust and lavender. From somewhere above, a soft scraping noise drifted down from the attic. I felt it settle straight into my bones. Something was off. But to understand why I climbed that attic ladder with my heart clenched like a fist, you need to know how this story began. Long before the rescue team shattered the attic door and long before we saw what made them crumble. Her stepfather, Daniel, came into our lives when my daughter was 9. He was polished, gentle, well-off, the kind of man my ex-wife insisted we needed. I tried to trust him. My daughter seemed to, and for a while I fooled myself into believing we were creating a quiet, blended stability. But love blinds you. Trust can paralyze you. And I overlooked every early warning that he was slowly turning her world away from mine. What started as little comments, "Your dad's always busy," "Your dad forgets things," "Your dad should let us handle this," turned into patterns. Her messages grew shorter. Her visits grew rare. Her voice softened, like someone had taught her to retreat into silence. I swallowed the anger. Told myself she was just older now, occupied, distracted. Then the message arrived. A month before that attic morning, she sent me a single text. "Dad, I'm sorry. I need some space. Space from me." I called. No answer. I drove over. No one opened the door. But Daniel's car was always parked there. Always. So I watched, observed from a distance, studied her life behind closed curtains. And that's when I noticed it. Her silhouette in the living room, speaking to someone I couldn't see. Not walking, not shifting, just sitting there, still, as if frozen in place. Something inside me didn't break. It cleared. She didn't need space. She needed help. And I was finished trusting the man who had taught her to hide. I didn't storm inside. I didn't confront him. I didn't accuse anyone. Instead, I played his game better than he ever imagined. First, I called the police anonymously to report strange sounds coming from her home. Then I filed a welfare check. After that, I contacted social services, raising concerns about isolation within the household. I built a chain. Every link pointed straight to him. And once the authorities began closing in, I chose my moment, the morning I used the spare key. That scraping sound wasn't loud. It was hollow, steady, like something heavy being dragged by someone who couldn't cry out. I climbed the ladder. My hand trembled, not in fear, but because I already knew what waited above. The attic door wouldn't budge. Something inside pressed against it. The rescuers arrived within minutes, faster than I expected. One look at my face at the shaking ladder, and they asked nothing. They forced the door open, the hinges shrieked. And then we saw her. My daughter, bound to a chair, pale and weak. Eyes sunken but alive the instant she spotted me. Not dead. Not gone. Just hidden away. And beside her, unconscious on the floor, was Daniel, breathing shallowly, an almost empty pill bottle lying at his side. He hadn't planned to release her. He'd only prepared to replace the last thing she still had. Me. When he eventually woke up in the hospital, the first person he asked for was her. My daughter. The girl he'd stolen from me. I stepped into the room before the officers entered. His eyes widened, fear, confusion, disbelief twisting together. "I know what you're wondering," I said quietly. "How I figured it out. How I got there before you finished what you started." He swallowed hard. I leaned in. "You forgot one thing, Daniel." His jaw clenched. "You taught her to stay quiet. But you forgot who taught her how to survive." Something in his face cracked. That was the moment he understood he had lost. Not because of evidence. Not because of the law. But because when they carried her out, she reached for me first. Because he was no longer the man she trusted. Because he tried to take my place, and I took it back. People call me a hero. Others say I'm lucky. Some think I sense something supernatural. But the truth is simpler. When someone steps into your place in your child's life, you feel it like a missing heartbeat. And when someone threatens your child, you don't break, you sharpen. My daughter is safe now, recovering. I sit beside her as she rests her head on my shoulder, something she hasn't done in years. I'm not proud of how calm my revenge felt, but I am satisfied, because silence didn't save her. I did.